What is up, YouTube? We are so back. Insanity. Probably the best card in my life, but mostly because I was there in person. What a card that was. So glad I witnessed that in person. Almost got arrested, probably. Not really, but was acting like an absolute fool. Just going up, shaking hands with everyone in the stands that looked like a Taporia fan. They wanted no part to do with me and my drunk ass, but it was worth it. Why? Because he did it. Iya Taporia knocks out Oliveira, first round, 10th double champ in UFC history, first to ever do it undefeated. He is making his way up the GOAT list. I see people are saying he's already GOAT, people are saying he's top five. I think we have to see how his career ends, but if he were to retire right now, he might be number 9 or 10 of all time, just because of the 3-fight win streak he's currently on. Would like to see him get more title defenses. I don't know what kind of route he's gonna take, but either way, that was awesome for Taporia. So glad he's done it. One of the guys I've been following since I got into the sport. What was it? The Ryan Hall fight was the first time I saw him go crazy. So, yeah. Either way, we're gonna break down the card. Pretty solid card outside of just that fight too. Um, I was pretty hammered, so I don't really remember much, unfortunately. But I just remember I was having a great time. So we'll start off with the first fight. Uh, Hanata Denise beating Alvin Hines. I had Denise by first round KO. Hines, from what I remember, was sticking in there. He was doing actually somewhat decent. Um, Denise just kind of got ahead and I think won the first 2 rounds. And then Hines won. Or not, yeah, Hines won the last, I think, something like that. Like, started like cooking up late. But yeah, so either way, got that right in terms of the fighter, not in terms of the method, though. So shout out to Deniz. On to the next fight, we have Jacoby Smith defeating Nico Price by submission in the second round. I had Jacob Smith. I had him by first round KO. Um, Man, shout out to Nico Price, looking like he was trying to get down with it. He was landing a decent amount of shots, making it somewhat competitive in moments. Jacob Smith, I think he's still pretty good, no doubt about it, but I don't think he's like this end-all be-all guy now. So still got some time with that guy. I'm not by any means saying we rush him. With Nico Price, especially if you have all this crazy power, you need to get a guy like that out in first round to make a statement. So, with a little bit of adversity there, having to overcome, getting into the second, but still getting submission, showing that you can be versatile with your finishing. It's always a good sign, but yeah, not the best look for Jacoby Smith, even though he still got the finish and got the win. It was just with the line being so high and with what other people expected from him. And just like Nico Price's very questionable durability, I mean, he should have got this done in the first round. So either way, nothing too much to really harp on there. Had Smith by first round KO. He did it by second round submission. On to the next one. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a diamond. We have Terrence McKinney defeating Vyacheslav Borishev by submission in the first round. I had McKinney first round KO. We did by submission. Yeah, I mean, this is the way that if you were betting McKinney, you were thinking he was going to do it like this. I was going to give Vyacheslav the benefit of the doubt yet again, saying that his wrestling would have improved enough where it might have stayed on the feet a little longer than normally, or I don't know. I didn't think he was going to get subbed in a minute, even though McKinney does have very underrated grappling. So, it's a good one for McKinney. He's not even close to fighting a ranked guy. I mean, he needs like 2 more wins before I think even considering unranked, just because we've seen him take all these hot, heavy jumps and they don't usually work. He does have 2 wins that are pretty solid. One's better than the other, even though, so he beat Frivola in like 5 seconds. Like, that's a great win. And Frivola was riding high on the streak like shortly after that for a minute. And then he beat Fares Ziam by grappling. Ziam is a great win that aged really well. Ziam should be fighting top 15. I'd imagine they're going to try to get him a matchup like that. Come time for that September France card. But yeah, that was... oh, God. Oh, sorry. Oh, man. Yeah, but McKinney, first round KO, did it by submission in the first round. Always a fast starter. I just knew I had to bet first round. I just couldn't decide if I was going to do sub or KO. Doesn't even matter because Vyacheslav is kind of trash. You still probably just keep him around just because he kind of has like in the very, very smallest way, kind of has a name, like, for how bad he is. So I say keep him around. Honestly, just throw him on these, Apex cards, or what else could you throw him on? Like the early prelims of pay-per-view and stuff like that. It's not bad to keep a guy like that around. So shout out Vyacheslav, even though he's trash. Hopefully he gets better. Probably won't though. Already 33. On to the next fight. Tracy Cortez defeating Viviane Araújo by decision. Had Cortez by decision. It's the safest bet. You had to do it. From what I remember watching that fight live, didn't remember much. Honestly, I don't think a whole lot was going on. So, I also got impregnated too by, Diamond. Trash. Ugh, that's ass. Yeah, I did get impregnated by Cortez walking out to Selena. I went to the bathroom. I was feeling nauseous. I just happened to piss on a tampon. Or a pregnancy test, same thing in my eyes. I happened to piss on it, and it said I was pregnant. So I did get impregnated by Tracy Cortez's walkout. It was kind of crazy. I couldn't believe it. Very blessed to have that gift. Either way, Cortez won. Not really an exciting fight. On to the next fight. Insane fight. Or just insanity how this happened. We have Hyder Mill losing to Jose Delgado. First round KO. Whoa, back-to-back diamonds? Just trash. That's trash. Yeah. Delgado lands a crazy knee, gets him out of there. This dude is legit. And I kind of said this. Everyone that I saw, they were all rocking the Mill. I even rocked the Mill, but I thought it was going to be a closer fight. Dude, Jose Delgado might be that guy, bro. Featherweight's got some young guys. I was talking a lot of crap on featherweight probably about a year ago, maybe a little less. And now you got, John Silva's in the rankings, even though that dude's a fucking clown. And then we also have, what's his name? Kevin Vallejos, and the Hyder and Mills before this, and Jose Delgado. Like, heavyweight's got some guys now, and this was a good fight. I wish they didn't put these guys against each other too early, but at the same time, you know, it probably helps build the stock of Delgado now getting a big prospect win like that. It's so fast, too. I couldn't believe how fast that was. That was insane, but that is Hiram Mills' first professional loss. No longer undefeated. It's a tough way to lose your O, for sure. On to the next fight, we have Gregory Rodriguez defeating Jack Hermanson. First round KO. I missed this because I was in line trying to get a beer, and I forget why. I think like the line just took forever because I think I planned it accordingly. But yeah, either way, I had Hermanson decision. RoboCop starches him, and then everyone's been talking about the follow up, the ground and pound. Definitely not necessary. As much as I don't really like RoboCop's like answer afterwards, where he's like, but like I get it, but like at the same time I don't like the answer. Like he could have been a little more sympathetic in my opinion, but at the same time still stress those facts. He was just like, well, it's Herb's job, and it is 100% Herb's job. It is Herb's fault. I'm not crying about it as much as other people. I don't think it was the worst follow up shot ever. Like I think just after watching like a Bobby Green, Jalen Turner stoppage, or you know, even something as crazy as a Dan Henderson and Michael Bisping, like the OG one. Like I think I'm desensitized to most of those now. Even like Armand doing my boy Benil dirty like that. You know, I don't like those are all way worse than what Rodriguez did to Hermanson in my opinion. But either way, I had Hermanson decision. Rodriguez does it by first round KO. Now on to the next fight. The only fight that outside of a betting perspective in terms of who I wanted to win, who would have made me really happy to win. This was the only thing that did not go my way. And for that, I was very, very sad. Felipe Lima loses to Payne Talbot by decision. I'm gonna hold my tongue and not say anything too stupid right now. I had Lima by second round submission. Talbot did it by decision. Will I give Talbot the benefit of the doubt here? Because I am a realist. Yes, he did look better. He definitely improved off that Raoni Barcelos fight. Is the hype 100% back? Absolutely not. I think he needs to win 2 more before like we're back there, unless they try to jump him up again right here, and then he beats that guy. But trash. It's a bad. But yeah, Lima also did not look good, in my opinion. He looked decent. Like there were some like decent entries that Talbot shut down, and the striking he was somewhat competitive in. It just looked like Talbot was one step ahead. He stuffed most of the takedowns, reversed a couple. Oh please. Oh wait, I think they're all blue. Ah, my gosh, you're killing me. Yeah, so please be so good. Ooh, 92 Pena. Yeah, so Oh, let me get over here. Let's see what's going on there. All right. Yeah. That one hurt a lot. Hurt a lot. I was saying a lot of reckless things in GMs and at the arena, stuff that. Never mind. Either way, tough ones, but I think Talbot still has to win at least one or two more before we start talking rankings. Like it should be at least two, but I understand they're trying to push him, so maybe he just needs one more win. They'll talk rankings. On to the next fight, though. We got Beneil Dariush defeating Renato Moicano by decision. Pretty solid fight. I had Moicano by decision, but my boy Beneil pulled out a vintage performance. And even though my pick was wrong, I will always take that, especially Beneil being my favorite fighter of all time. He got dropped in the first round, recovered. The body kicks were there. He was setting up that left straight the whole time. He kind of looked like he ended up being one step ahead of Moicano. Moicano started to slow down. A shout out to Beneil, man. That was awesome. It's still so crazy how, like, sometimes as MMA fans, especially even me, like, we forget how great his grappling is. Like, he is one of arguably the best grapplers at lightweight, especially with Islam out of the division now. I think Beneil is, like, right up there with Charles, Arman. I don't know. He might be, yeah. Either way, I mean, great win for him. That was awesome. Watching that live. Shout out to my boy Beneil. He did it. On to the next fight. Joshua Van defeats Brandon Royval by decision. That fight was crazy. Arguably the craziest atmosphere of any sporting event I've ever seen in my life. And I've been to, Red Sox playoff games at Fenway. I've seen a Sixers playoff game, I think. Like I've seen a decent amount of crazy atmospheres. That was wild. I need to rewatch that fight because I was so hammered, but I just remember being like, literally felt like out of a movie. It was like, oh, like just going back and forth. It was crazy. Royval just constantly with those 1-2s, the volume in general. Van just mixing up beautifully. I got to, like I said, I got to rewatch it, but there is a pretty strong chance that Royval was winning until he got dropped with 8 seconds left. But shout out to both these guys for putting it on the line. I did see something that Royval is getting his win bonus as well, so that was a really nice thing by the UFC to do. They should reward stuff like that usually if guys are going out there and putting it all on the line like that because I've seen people say anything that this is fight of the year to I've seen even some people say that this is like the best fight of all time. Best fight of all time, I don't know. I would need to rewatch it. Probably doesn't seem like that, but it does seem like it's a fight of the year for sure. Contender at the bare minimum. Right up there with like a Volk Lopez, Marab Umar. Um, I'd really like that Randy Brown and Dalby fight too. So that's a good time. But yeah, either way, shout out to both those guys, especially Josh Van. I did bet Royval by decision. I thought it was the safer pick. Oh, but Van Van has made an incredible comeback over the last 13 months since he lost to Charles Johnson last May. 5 fight winning streak. Takedown defense has improved dramatically. I think that fight with Pantoja is the most exciting flyweight fight I've seen since Figueiredo? No, I don't even know. I mean, maybe if Figueiredo and Moreno too, maybe. Cause like the fourth one wasn't even like that hype. People just wanted it over with. Maybe a Pantoja and Moreno. That was a big one too. Even though Pantoja was up 2-0. But Van and Pantoja is going to be a really fun fight. However, even though Van proved me wrong, and I wanted him to, I want Van to win. Like I love Van. I think he's definitely one of my favorite fighters right now. I hope he beats Pantoja. The problem is I don't see it. I think that's like a horrible matchup for him. Like even when I was predicting this fight, I was like, there is a way that Van wins, 100%. And I just I don't know. It's just like Pantoja's durability is insane. Like, but I don't know though. Steve Erceg almost beat Pantoja. I don't know. Maybe you know what? I'm still gonna go Pantoja, but I do think the fight's gonna be closer now than I was thinking before. I was thinking before it was gonna be fairly one-sided. Like Van probably wins like one round in there, but now I'm like, I can see Van winning too. Making him pretty close. Maybe split decision, but I don't know. I'm still gonna lean Pantoja for sure, but hopefully Van gets that done. That would be awesome. I like both guys though. Honestly, I like both Pantoja and Van. I would love to see Pantoja continue to build legacy, but I would also love to see the new guard in Van, and it would also reset flyweight because the problem with flyweight and what's been the issue for the past 2 years is all these guys have already fought Pantoja at least once, most of them twice. Um, he's 10-0 against the top 10 in the rankings right now, Pantoja. And that's going to lead me to the next fight, and that's Pantoja defeating Kai Kara France. Third round sub. Wild fight. Pantoja just shut down everything from Kai Kara France, from what I remember. I predicted this one perfectly. One of the two that I predicted perfectly on the card. I had Pantoja third round sub. Unfortunately, couldn't even bet in Vegas because I didn't have time to go to casino and verify my ID so I could do it online. It's whatever. But if I would have won solid money with this Pantoja third round sub. And man, he is so solid. Fourth title defense. If there's anyone I really want to see jumping up divisions right now, it's Pantoja against Merab. But I do want Pantoja to build up into bantamweight size-wise, though, before doing it. Um, if Pantoja takes off time and builds up to bantamweight, that fight would be so crazy, in my opinion. Both of them are just absolute machines, literally. So that would be cool. But it seems like he still kind of wants to get like maybe one or two more down here at flyweight. It also seems like the UFC's new rules in general are also going to make him kind of ponder it, whether he's going to make that move completely or not and relinquish his belt. But either way, shout out to Pantoja. Like I was saying in the like pre-fight too, like don't get me wrong, this is more so Pantoja looking great than Kai Kara looking horrible. But Kai Kara France literally got this title shot because nothing was going on at flyweight at the time. Like absolutely nothing. You couldn't give Moreno a fourth shot. You can't give like the guys coming off the losses like Albazi and Erceg the shot. So like he kind of just got lucky by I wouldn't say lucky. He did finish Steve Erceg in the first round. That was a great win. But he had one win and then they were like, "Oh, okay, well, give it to him." So he didn't really deserve to be in there. Now Kai Kara France is coming off of 3 wins and was looking like he was clearly the next guy in line. Then yeah, I mean, maybe this fight would have been a little bit more competitive, but one win over Steve Erceg doesn't really prove to me that you can go toe to toe with Pantoja. Either way, Great fight, great win, Pantoja. I think with Pantoja, you do Van, and then Kai Kara France do the Cap fight. Honestly, that should be. Don't rebook Cap and Royval, do Cap and France. It'd be so much better of a build up anyway. Um, on to the next fight, though. The main event. Iya Taporia defeats Charles Oliveira by first round knockout. Um, this was crazy. So first off, I'm watching this whole fight with my hands over my eyes. Like I'm literally like people are clowning me because I'm literally like scared little schoolgirl out there in the crowd, man, just watching this fight. Uh, I literally like basically blacked out for the fight. I literally just remember, for whatever reason, the grappling scared me a lot more than when I can't rewatch the fight, but I can rewatch most of it on was I think YouTube posted most of the fight. So when Charles and Ilya go to the ground, initially I was like a lot more scared watching it live. I don't know why. I think I should have been looking up at the big screen rather than in the fence because I couldn't really see much. But yeah, and then Ilya gets over way too easily, gets into side control, gets him in a crucifix for like 5 seconds. Oliveira defends nicely. Oliveira then, what's it called? He then somehow reverses, goes for a leg lock. I'm shitting my pants live watching this. It looked way deeper live, and then obviously the crowd being mostly Oliveira fans, they're all starting to cheer. I'm just like, I don't think my heart dropped. I don't think it was that serious, but I was just like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then Ilya escapes. They get back up to the feet, and brother, it was so fast. I didn't even see it. I was watching, like I remember watching it, but like I just like I think it was more like the shock factor. Ilya just throws the quickest 1-2, and Oliveira's just dead. Also, unnecessary follow up, but it wasn't bad. They were just like little. It was like the Adesanya Pereira KO where Adesanya's just doing a little pillow fist, but either way, Ilya Taporia frickin' did it, dude. Double champ, knocks out Oliveira in the first round. People are saying Islam ran away. I don't think so. Do I think Ilya would beat Islam now? Yes. Like that changed. I initially was like a 52-48 Islam before this Taporia and Oliveira fight. I was a 52-48 Islam. Now I'm like probably 58-42 Ilya. Like I think Ilya wins that fight 58 out of 40 no 58 out of 100 times. Math ain't mathin'. Um I'm ecstatic to see actually I'm not even that hyped to see what Ilya does next because I think you like I saw MMA Guru say this too, and like I kind of agree. Like I hate to say it because I want activity and everything, and I saw Ilya wants to come back before the year's end. But there's two things I either want to happen. First scenario, Ilya faces Justin Gaethje, just gets it easy, another win under his belt. He's a superstar anyway. Fuck it, have him keep winning easy. Or not really. Let's not completely give him easy fights, but hey, give him an easy one. Give him Gaethje in like a 3 or 4 month turnaround. I doubt he's going one turnaround that fast, but give him 3 or 4 months. let him come back, let him destroy Gaethje, put Gaethje into retirement, and then in the meantime, you do Paddy Armand title eliminator. Then you get a true and very clear number one contender out of that after Topuria destroys Gaethje. From there, what happens is you either have an absolute crazy buildup in a Paddy and Topuria fight, or you have just a high level buildup with Topuria and Armand, the new generation. Like, first off, that Topuria Armand fight is insane. By the time that fight probably does happen, they'll probably both be my favorite fighters in the UFC because I'll assume that Benil seems like he'd be fighting a couple more times, so never mind. But Benil were to retire, leave the UFC, whatever. Topuria and Arman, my favorite fighters, so that would be insane. But I feel like the Paddy and Topuria fight is the one to make. That's the money maker. I don't want them to do it right away, though. That's what I'm going to get into with scenario two. This one is have Topuria sit out. It's because it seems like in general, anyway. I know, like I said, I know Topuria says he wants to fight before year ends. I think you got to find a way to still build it up for Topuria, and I think what you do is have him sit out for until like beginning of next year, and then do Topuria and Pimblett or Topuria and Arman, whoever wins in Abu Dhabi between Arman and Pimblett. Because I mean, and then there's another thing you can do actually too. But I doubt Arman does this. You can do Gaethje Pimblett. Winner fights for if you can convince Gaethje to do one more. You do Gaethje Pimblett, and then winner faces Topuria, and then Arman fights Dan Hooker, and then Arman needs to fight someone else after that, like a Holloway or something. Who knows? But yeah, Topuria should either sit out or should take a Justin Gaethje matchup to keep himself active. I think anyway, like Gaethje's the easiest out of all those opponents for Topuria. I think because I know everyone's jumping on the wagon now, and like part of me also wants to, but at the same time, it is MMA. Styles make matchups. Oliveira was a good matchup, but the durability is kind of questionable. Either way, not taking anything away from Topuria. I think Topuria beats Arman, Islam, even though I don't think they'll fight Islam because Islam's going to stay welterweight. He still beats Gaethje, beats Paddy. The problem is Gaethje's the easiest out of all of them, in my opinion. Arman and Paddy, I think, pose a lot of problems still. Um, I think Paddy with the size, and I think Paddy does have somewhat decent IQ now. He'll probably be very kick heavy, so that does kind of worry me with Paddy. I think with um, with Gaethje, it's just like only maybe the uppercuts. Like I don't know. Like where does Gaethje beat him? Like that fight is gonna be horrible. So yeah, I'd say, and then Arman's just like the wrestling threat. Um, I think Topuria's grappling is like pretty good though. Like I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I think Topuria and Pimblett for the build-up is a really great matchup, really fun one. And I think just in terms of skills and best fight to make, Topuria and Arman would be insane. So there's a lot they can do. It'll be interesting. It seemed like Dana's not a fan of the Paddy fight, which surprises me. I would think he would want money, but maybe he's very confident he could build up Paddy with one more win. And if he does, if Paddy beats someone else, whether it's, I doubt it's going to be Charles, but if it's like a Charles, Gaethje, or Arman, and then faces Topuria, that fight is like gonna that might be biggest seller of the 2020s, which isn't really saying much, but still. Topuria is a superstar now. Um, saw something where UFC posts his knock. I mean, UFC posts his knockout everywhere, like the full thing too. It's not like the end of it. Like I know they did this with O'Malley when O'Malley beat Aljo, I think it was. But this dude is it's it. I wish Dana would appreciate him more. It seems like there is a lot of respect, but not as much as like Connor. But maybe that's a good thing because we don't want Deporia to get so in his head that he starts becoming a coke addict, cheating on his wife, and being a fucking tool. So maybe keeping it the relationship, kind of cordial and not too much sucking from Dana White's side. It might help, but Toporia's viewership on the UFC video, the knockout, or I think it was the whole sequence of the KO, which was most of the fight, and the sequence of the Holloway video from the 300 knockout. The Holloway video from 300 had 9.7, no, 9 million views exactly. And that was a year and 2 months ago. Ilia Toporia's KO sequence of Oliveira in 24 hours had 9.7 million. This morning, or late last night, it had 10.3. The man is a superstar. No other way around it. This dude, it's going to suck because he is going to retire early. He probably does retire undefeated at 20 and 0, though. Because what is he? He's at 17 and 0 now, or is he at 18? He's at 17 now, right? Yeah, sounds about right. So at 17 and 0, he probably gets 20 and 0 and retires. He's making his way up there, man. If he wins 3 fights, retires 20 and 0 with 3 lightweight defenses and 1 featherweight defense. Let's say he KOs the next 3 guys too. He's probably top 5 all time. Some people will say he is the GOAT. It's possible. I think, though, with these guys that retire early, they have to understand that they will never be the GOATs if they're not getting these title defenses. But it would be respect. I would love to see him retire early, honestly, in a way. As much as I'd love to see him fight, I think there are some fighters, like, and I feel like Khabib kind of has this, aura, whatever, to him for retiring early and being 29-0 because people, even though Khabib really didn't face any crazy tough challenges, especially compared to like Islam or someone, it's he still has that like, oh, could be running this division to this day, because he ran through everyone and all that. And like same thing with Topuria. If Topuria knocks out next 3 guys on top of what he's already done and retires, like fans will always say that too. Be like, oh, if Topuria's still around, he'd be running stuff, So it kind of has like that type of part to it, but in terms of like legacy, when people look back and it's all said and done, it's like who has the most title wins, who has the most title defenses, all this. But we'll see what happens, man. He has probably the best 3 fight win streak of all time. Merab has probably the best 5 fight win streak of all time. Um, Georgia, man, these guys are legit. These guys are so legit right now. So shout out to Ia. Very curious to see what they do with him next. I remember when he announced his move to lightweight, I thought he was an idiot. I was like, dude, like he's fucking this all up. He could be featherweight GOAT, and then he can move up. And maybe that cut was too hard, which is so crazy. And he didn't even like he did kind of look like on fight day, he did look bigger at 155 for sure. But like still doesn't even look that big, but it really doesn't even matter. Like I think the matchup I probably worry about the most, and it's barely, is the Armand one. I still do think Ilya beats him more times than none. Um, the Patty one kind of worries me too, like a little bit, just because the size of Patty and I think the kicking game, the IQ. But I don't know. I think Ilya does have a good chance to go out retired undefeated. I don't know about lightweight goat, but potentially, if he does knock out all of them, though, he might be. I don't know. We'll see. It's very interesting to see what happens. Fantastic card, though. I can't believe I witnessed it. I'm like basically desensitized. I don't even like. There's just no way I will ever see a card that good again in my life, especially considering that was in person. Saw two of my favorite fighters win. I saw an absolute all-time war. Um, every fight was solid besides the women's fight. And obviously, the Payne Talbot fight wasn't fun for me, but it was still a decent fight. But I don't know, that was insane. I'm so spoiled. I'm also pregnant because of Tracy Cortez's walkout. Um, crazy stuff happened. And this is why MMA is the greatest sport because you just never know what can happen. I can literally be impregnated at the greatest card of all time. Like that just happened. So either way, YouTube, glad to be back. We have a hiatus. Not really. But maybe what I'll do end of the week is make build I might build the end of the year cards actually. I might do that. So I might do that because I just made a news recently. So we might do some card building by the end of the week. We'll see what happens. But we got an off week, and then we got Lewis versus Towson Teixeira. I'm a sick bastard because I'm actually kind of looking forward to that card. There's a lot of heavyweight fights there, and now that we got John Jones out of there, I kind of need to look forward to the cards where we can move some of these heavyweights where we can see where these guys will be doing well at heavyweight. I'm not going to get into it right now, but we got to look out for guys like Towson Teixeira, who hopefully can beat Derek Lewis, even though it's his second fight in the UFC. And then we got Petrino moving up to heavyweight, and then we have another heavyweight, one called Banger by any means, but another heavyweight fight. So that's gonna be a good card. Should be like the lowest of the stakes involved in that card, but still, I'm excited because we need to get heavyweight rolling. So either way, shout out to Poria, shout out Benil, shout out Van, shout out Royval, even insane. Who else am I missing a shout out for? Um, oh, Pantoja, I completely forgot. Like he deserves his flowers. Um, Who else is getting shout out? Honestly, Terrence McKinney, shout out him. Great win. Jose Delgado, shout out. Insane. And yeah, honestly, we'll go from there. Shout out to you, YouTube. We're back.